Okay, some people are joining in. Okay, Chinedu is in. Uche is in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so we're going to start. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I can see we are all coming in. Maybe I'll give a minute just to allow a few more people join the call. It's bang on 7 p.m. So thank you to all those who came in on time. It's a very good trait to join meetings early. Well done. All right, it's 1 minute past. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen, once again. I'd like to welcome you to the final masterclass from the 7 or 8 actionable income stream series. Today we have the professional service masterclass, and I know it's going to be an awesome session because of the caliber of speakers I have on the bill. So without further ado, I'd like us to dive straight into it so that we would, spend some good time and then also have time for questions and answers at the end. If you're joining for the first time, our way of doing things is we'll allow our practitioners, our experts speak in turn, and then if you have any questions, please jot them in the chat box. And then at the end of the session, we would have a Q&A session where we would field the respective questions to the right speakers who would then answer our questions. So thank you for your time. And once again, you're welcome. I'll go straight into it. So 7 or 8 income streams masterclass series. It's been a whirlwind. Sorry. It's been a whirlwind tour. And I'm actually very, very, very happy that we've come to the last segment of this series. But again, for those who have just joined and maybe don't know much about why we started the movement and all of that, I'll just give a bit of background. In January this year, a group of us, we're from the New Kings family, we came together and decided to share from our wealth of knowledge in 7 or 8 areas, actually 8 areas, where people can harness maybe skills that we have, experiences that we have to begin to make money or at least develop an additional income stream and then hopefully improve their financial lot in life. So we started off in February with the Financial Markets Masterclass. Our experts taught us things to do with stock markets, bonds, treasury bills, and REITs. No, it wasn't REITs. We talked about money markets, and they gave us actionable steps that we could take to begin to make money in those fields. In March, we went on to real estate and we had some of our gurus coming to teach us on land banking, how to do it safely, how to get into real estate investment trusts, co-ownership, partnership deals, and all of that. And actually gave us ways to go about doing it. Quite a few of us who have been on the call or at least been part of the journey so far, I'm sure you've all started in one way or the other to begin to earn from these masterclass series. In April, I took the Crypto and Commodities Masterclass. I shared a bit of knowledge on how to go about crypto if you're a first timer. And I also pointed us in the direction of where the crypto markets are going and what you should look out for. In May, we had the Intellectual Property Masterclass. We had our legal practitioner and a few other creatives talk about how to protect your most valuable resource, which is your intellectual property. A lot of people don't, take it seriously. We also talked about how to put a will together, how to go about setting up a family trust, etc., etc. And then in June, we had the creativity masterclass where we had a diverse group of creatives talk about how they are currently making money in the creative space. And then we went on in July to talk about the entrepreneurship masterclass. We now got practitioners as well, give us insights into how they started their businesses, how they launched, what pitfalls, to avoid, and how they made it through the dark times of their businesses. And then in August last month, we had the career masterclass. And this was really targeting 95, typical 95 workers. We heard how to make it in that sphere and what to do. I think the biggest lesson there for me was how to calculate your retirement number, and they debunked the myth of retirement age and all of that. And then finally, we're here today in the last masterclass in the series, which is for professional services. We're going to be learning from people who took that leap from the typical or regular 9 to 5 and they set up their own shop. And we're going to hear from them how they did it and what to expect if you are called or you believe you should be going that route. So it's been a wonderful journey so far, and I believe you're in for a treat today because the people that are on the call, the practitioners, they're very hands-on and they'll tell you without mincing words what it takes. And hopefully you will get one or two things out of the session. So again, I'd like to welcome everybody and I'll be handing the mic over to our first speaker who will be talking about building a sustainable professional services practice. So the next voice you hear will be that of Sola Bob Manuel. Please, Sola, take it away.
Okay, thank you so much, Coach. We call you our Dominion Coach. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be on this professional master's class. And I want to appreciate everyone that is also a part of this call. And I'm hoping that you will take one or two things after we are done with this talk today. As you all know, my name is Swala Bob Manuel. I'm a systems stroke network engineer. I've been in this field for over 15 years, and I'll just share a little bit of my journey and how I've been able to transition from doing a regular 9 to 5 to now working remotely and also running two side businesses or two side companies, two businesses on the side. Thank you, Coach. Please, could you help me go to the next slide? So we're talking about what are building a sustainable professional service practice. And we're looking at what are professional services and why do they matter. Now, we need to, first of all, set the baseline to say that professional service is actually a service that is expertise driven. It is defined by specialized skills and knowledge. That means you need to be an expert in that field. You need to be the subject matter expert on that field. And another thing or another point we need to take out is that it is always client oriented. That means you are going to be dealing directly with your clients, and the focus is on understanding the pain points of your clients, meeting their specific needs, and being able to surpass whatever idea or need they put in front of you. And it is also value focused. That means the ultimate goal is to deliver value to your clients. Like I said earlier, it is being able to identify your clients' pain points and possibly, as much as you can, ease the journey for your clients. Now, in today's economy, professional services are vital and they provide solutions and they go beyond just doing your everyday simple task. So basically, you need to be able to find your client's pain points and provide or give value to them. Next slide, please, Coach. Now, I'm going to be talking about a little bit about my story, how I moved from passion to now practice. I started my journey sometime in 2009 as a young guy, still in school. Of course, I was doing my internship at the time, but funny enough, I had this knack for fixing things and always trying to help people fix their systems. Of course, I'm in the tech space, and I had a flair for tech basically. So far back in 2009, I had already started my side hustle, as I would call it at that time. I was helping out my fellow colleagues fix their systems, and I was also helping out. But what distinguished me at that time was that I went further than just doing it hands-on to go and get a professional skill. I got certified professionally in that field. Yeah, there were a bit ups and downs because I had no structure and sort of at that time. But fast forward to 2021, I was able to successfully register my business, my company, Floso IT Consult, and put a little bit of structure to it. I transitioned from being passionate about the field to actually doing hands-on practice. And today, like I say, I provide services to clients outside the world, outside Nigeria. I currently provide services to a Ukraine company as an IT expert as part of their support in their IT field. Next slide, coach, please. Now, what are the pillars of a professional service? Or what are the pillars of a professional service? Now, like I said at the beginning of my talk, I said it is extremely client oriented. Professional services is client oriented. Your client is the center of your service. That means you must be willing and able to exceed your client's expectation. Now, you have to be reliable and consistent. Now, reliability and consistency is very important. Now, what do I mean? That means you must be consistent in delivering high quality results. Your clients want to always know that when they come to you with a challenge or a problem, that you are going to deliver. And if you're not going to deliver, you go to action. Be reliable and you be consistent, and that's what is going to your brand as a professional field. Because when your clients come to you and like going to solve my issue, they now see you as a professional in that field. Now there must be consistent. Now in a world that is digitized and is full with new and different innovations in the IT space, you must continually improve, or else you go extinct. Now, number 4 pillar is that you need to have a professional image and you need to build it on ethics. Maintaining a strong professional presence and adhering to ethical standards is what is going to also distinguish you from the roadside entrepreneur or someone that is just doing it for doing sake or for the love of it, just like I was doing it back in 2009. You need to have a professional image and you need to work on your ethics. Next slide, please, coach. Now, I'm going to be talking about personal effectiveness for professional services. Number 1 is time management. And I'll be talking about a tool, Eisenhower, the Eisenhower matrix, which will help you to, at the end of the day, prioritize what tasks to do and what tasks not to do. If you see, you can look at the slide on the screen. It has 4 quadrants and it shows you do, decide, delegate, and delete. Now, for you to be effective in your professional service business, you need to decide how to share your tasks so that you can help build your professional image and your ethics. For example, you're going to look at that. If you look at that slide, it's going to tell you that there are tasks that are urgent and important for you. You need to do those tasks. Then there's a slide that talks about decide. You now need to decide what to do or deliberate on. So that means those tasks are not urgent. You look at those tasks later. Then you have the place where it says delegate. These are tasks that you can give to somebody on your team. It means that that task does not need your immediate or unique skill as a professional. So you can delegate that task to someone else. The next thing is, there are a lot of things that we put in our businesses or in our time today. And on looking at it critically, you will find out that these tasks are things that we call time wasters, and they are not going to yield any positive fruit or anything for you. So you need to decide on how to either carry out your tasks, decide, delegate, or you delete. So the number two thing I'm going to be talking about for personal effectiveness is emotional intelligence. Because professional services is client-oriented and client-centered, you are going to be mostly interfacing with individuals. And trust me when I say, in the service industry, human beings will test your limits, they will push you. So you just have to develop some sort of emotional intelligence. If you do not have emotional intelligence on how to communicate with your clients, you're going to continuously run into issues with the people that you are supposed to be providing services to. So you need to develop self-awareness and work on your interpersonal relationship. Now, number three is resilience. The ability to bounce back from setbacks and adapt to challenges is what you also need to be personally effective. I'll share a short story for you. Far back in 2000, IT space, and a client gave me their laptop to fix. And trust me, I was just starting up. There were a lot of things I didn't know. There were a lot of technical know-hows I didn't understand because I was not yet a skilled professional. And of course, true to what would be the outcome of anyone who is just coming into a field like that, I blew up the person's system. Like I broke the laptop. The laptop was dead and gone. But I didn't take that as a setback. Of course, eventually I was able to fix the laptop and give it to the client, and the client was eventually happy. Now, how did I rely? What did I do? I relied on the mentorship of someone who has been on that field for a long while. The person was able to help me come out of that situation and that mess. Now, that was a show of resilience. Now, some people, nobody's saying when you start up with your professional services, it's going to be a bed of roses and it's going to be a smooth ride. There are times where you hit roadblocks. The spirit of resilience, the ability to bounce back when there are setbacks, or the ability to sit back, re-strategize, and give out value back to your client that has hired you for that professional service is very important. And like I mentioned earlier, continuous learning, you need to stay updated in your chosen industry, Now I'm going to quickly talk about the realities of the professional service business. Number one reality is that revenue takes time. Revenue takes time. A lot of people get into, of course, you like to get into professional services, yes, because you want to make money. But one thing I will tell you for a fact is that revenue takes time. Revenue takes time. Building a steady income stream in professional service often requires patience and persistence. Initial revenue growth can be very slow and sometimes very frustrating. Now, this is where you are going to build some level of resilience and try to ensure that you have something on the side. Maybe from my own school of thought, or I will tell you how I started my own businesses. I didn't wake up and leave my 9 to 5, my regular 9 to 5. I had my 9 to 5 running, and I had my professional service business running on the side. Now, it took time before I was able to break away from that cycle. But of course, you need to have steady cash flow. And like I said, revenue will take time. Even at this point in my journey, I still have a perfume business that I do on the side, which gives me a steady cash flow more than the IT sector of my professional service. So you need to be patient. Now, number two is that structure matters a lot. Establishing a solid foundation with proper legal structure and your clear pricing models and strong branding is crucial for long-term success. I'm going to talk about this when I'm talking about sustainability and passing the baton. Structure is very important. And like I said, a side business might be needed. Consider a supplementary income because there are going to be times where, of course, when you kickstart the business, sometimes in the first 6 months to 1 year, you might not break even. So side business might be needed. revenue takes time. So understanding these realities helps in strategically planning and maintaining flexibility whilst you run your professional services. Now, I'll talk about strategies for growth in my next slide. Thank you, Coach. Please, if you don't mind, I'd like to go over to the next slide. You need to register early and build systems. Now, this is what is going to help you scale up from maybe doing something as a hobby to taking it to the professional angle quickly. Something that will trigger your growth. Register early and build systems. I can't overemphasize on this point. Register early, familiarize your business and formalize your business, and establish an efficient operation system. This will help you to scale up faster than you think. Build reputation. And let me just talk about that because it took me from 2009 to 2021. The growth I have experienced between 2021 and 2025 is far much more than what I did between 2009 to 2021. So I can't overemphasize this point where I say register early and build systems and structures around your business. Build reputation before revenue. Like I said, professional services is client-centered. So it means that your professional services, and I talked about branding, you need to build a brand and a reputation that you are known for. If you do not have branding and reputation, then your revenue might never come. So it is important that you focus on building your reputation before you even think of revenue. Yes, you are going into professional services because you want to make money, but the key thing should be to give value to people. So it is important to build your reputation. Use tools for efficiency. You have customer relationship management tools. You have Salesforce. You have ServiceNow. There are different CRM tools that could help you ease your professional service businesses. So it's important that you use tools. I'm still talking about strategies to growth. Leverage remote opportunities. That you are in a particular city does not mean that your services cannot go beyond the borders of your city. So as much as you can, leverage remote opportunities. It will help you also scale when you have clients that are not just within your locality, but outside. Then diversify income streams. Like I said, revenue might take time. So you need to have a side business or other income streams that would help you to stabilize and stay up to date. Next slide, please, Coach. Now, adaptability is non-negotiable. So passion might start your journey. Your initial drive and enthusiasm to have a professional service might be born out of passion. It might start your journey, but structure is what sustains your growth, and client experience defines your brand. Now, listen what I just said. Passion might start your journey. Structure is what will sustain your growth, and your client experience. What is the client experience from the time they contact you to when they leave you? Your client experience will define your brand for you. Start small, think big, but grow continuously. Now I'm going to talk about sustainability and passing the baton. Think long term. Now, when I say think long term, I mean build structures and processes for enduring success beyond you as the founder. I mean, I'm sure you want to go from being just a professional service giver who has to always go to the office to monitor what they do, till when the business is able to outlive you. So think long term and start to train people, empower future leaders, identify, mentor, and equip successors that will be able to regularly take up from where you stop. Because you don't want to build a service or a business that only thrives when you are around. You want to be able to stay off from the reins of operation and be sure that when you go to sleep, money can still enter your bank account. I mean, that's the aim of this, of having a business or a company running. You want to grow it to the point whereby the business or the company is able to run independent of you. Time will not allow me, but I would have shared a bit of story from someone I encountered and someone that motivated me to build my own business. Now, institutionalize knowledge transfer. Document your best practices. Remember, I said your brand, your client experience defines your brand. Your client experience is defined by your brand. So because that is defined by your brand, you need to document your best practices as to what was it that a client experienced and they gave you a very good feedback. You need to document this. This will help you to be able to instill that knowledge in your predecessors, people that will take over you, your successors. Sorry. Now, build a team culture and development, cultivate strong organizational culture to sustain growth. Embrace technology, innovate and adapt. Embrace technology and market trends to keep the practice relevant, because you don't want to be stuck in your old knowledge and you say, no, this is how we've always done it, and you are stuck, you are not open to innovations. Now, purpose beyond profit. I can't overemphasize it. You can see that this has come up severally. You must have to deliver value. You must focus on delivering value before you are thinking of profit. Your journey to sustainable growth. We've explored the foundational principles and practices and strategies for building a thriving professional practice. Remember, growth is continuous. It is not something that happens just like that. You need to be intentional. Like I said, register early, build trust, and make sure that you are recording your best practices. This will help you scale your businesses or your practice very rapidly. So continuous process that combines passion, strategic planning, and unwavering adaptabilities. So now, having heard this, I want you to reflect on your current practice, or if you have not yet started any practice, what is it that you do that you believe that you can turn that to a professional service? And for those that already have a running or a practice that is already running that might not be thriving or be thriving, I'm sure you can reflect on the current state you are in your practice. Maybe for you, you haven't started building systems and structures to pass the baton on to the next generation. Now is the time to look at that and be strategic about the next phase in your business where you can retire. Implement on these new strategies that you can find, that you have heard today. Now connect with people and peers and mentors. I told you in the early stage of my career, I messed up a person system. It was a mentor that saved me from that situation. So if you do not have a peer or mentor, then you might be putting or setting your professional service up for disaster. And lastly, continuous learning and adapting to market changes. I'll be taking questions at the end of the presentation if there are any on my side. Thank you. At this time, I would like to pass the baton on to our next presenter, Dr. K, to take off from here.
Thank you so much, Swala, for this session. Of course, you have touched on the key points and what it takes to start a professional services business, and not just start, to sustain and grow a successful professional services business. Just like you mentioned, we're going to be moving swiftly to our next facilitator, Dr. Kayode, who'll be taking us on how to step out of the box. There's this magic box that most people are in, and Doc knows how to step out of it, and he will be sharing that with us. So Doc, please, over to you. Let's hear what you have for us.
Thank you very much, Coach, for the privilege. And then I also thank my co-facilitator for this powerful presentation. My name is Dr. Kayode. I'm a dentist, practicing for more than a decade, and with special interest in implantology, and I'm an oral health advocate, and then I'm into public speaking. All right, thank you. So a step out of the box. I chose this topic because that's really the journey so far. A step out of the box. The box I mean is comfort zone. That's comfort zone, the usual. All right, the usual. We always want to be in that space that we just want things to go the way it has always been. Let us just keep it moving that way. I grew up from a background that is very conservative. My parents are retired as civil servants. And then it's as though the path has been laid for me to go that route. So when I said a step out of the box, it was really a step out of the box for me. So the journey so far, I worked in a place as a dentist for 7 years. I got into it. I practically did everything. I knew almost everything. I knew the vendors. I got into the business. You know, I learned about it. And then taking that step out of the box was really, really a step out of the box indeed for me because, you know, this time and seasons where an average doctor finds it easy to travel out of the country, you want to japa, the japa syndrome, or go through that route, become, and then at the end of the day, finished, and just like the way my parents finished. All right. So, and I realized that great things, truly remarkable things, achievements, and never gotten from the comfort zone. They are never gotten from the comfort zone. Next slide. Next slide, please. The foundation. So we started Gilead Dental Specialist 5 years ago, and then the vision was clear. All right. And I said this vision, mission, and practice culture because Habakkuk chapter 2, verses 2 says, write the vision, make it plain upon the tables that he may run that read it. So we made the vision clear. The vision is clear, and then it's on the wall in our practice for everyone to come and see, both the patients and everybody, all right, that comes in as a staff. It's clear. In fact, one of the things you will be committed to do once you join us after recruitment is that you read it, you learn it, and then after some time, you explain it to me. What we are trying to do is to build a system and a practice culture where everybody knows the visions, and the vision is clear. Strong, clear visions that define our unique values, cultivate a positive culture that resonates with both the team and our patients. Next slide. Business plan. All right. So the vision has been structured. You've gotten the vision. It's clearly written, clearly stated, probably somewhere around the place, but you need to plan. All right. You know, I said write the vision, make it plain, that he may run that readeth it. Running the business, running the practice, running whatever professional space you find yourself. It's important to have a plan. Just like before you build a house, you need a plan to work with. And then so many things that are included in this plan. You have the executive summary, the market analysis, which is very important. You don't want to position your business in a place where people cannot come and meet you. All right. You have to explain how to get to your place. No, you don't want to do that. You want to analyze the market and know that, okay, in this space you are, your business or your professional need or service, as it were, is needed in this particular space. So you need to do all that. Then your financial projection, very, very important. So you want to start, you need a plan because, for example, if you are going to be getting a loan, all right, from any of these banks and all that, they want to look at your books, they want to look at your business plan, they want to see your projection, if they can work with it. If it's not realistic, then they are not going to work. And that brings me down to ensuring that your goals and your structure has to be smart. And what do I mean by smart? With the acronym specific, it has to be specific, it has to be measurable, it has to be achievable, it has to be realistic, and within time bound, there has to be time frame. All right. And it goes back to the vision. Once the vision is clear and you've written it down, it's easy for execution. You know, visions are very crucial in inspiring and setting up direction. So that is very, very important to ensure that you have a very, very good plan. So we had a plan. I got a plan. In fact, you know, what people want to do is get somebody to draw a plan for them and just tell them, just do something for me, make it work. You know, no, that's not what I did. I put myself into it. I got this app from, I think it was a US company and all that. I paid for it, all right? I paid for it and I did it myself. It took me months, but I was able to do it. And it helped me because anytime there are challenges, I can easily go back to that plan. So very, very important for you to have a plan. Next slide. Next slide, please. All right, so we started, the plan is available, you've gotten the funds, you've set up the place. Then what is the next thing? For us, we deal with patients. So you have to be strategic about your marketing. Yes. So when we started, we were just, we employed the people who were just sleeping. I was sleeping for like 3 to 6 months. For like a week, yes, I was just sleeping because the fact that you are a dentist or whatever professional space you are, experience. Right now, I'm more than close to 15 years now practicing. That doesn't count for anything. People don't know you. You have to go out there and sell yourself. You have to go out there and market yourself. And that brings me to point number 1. Define your ideal patient. Define your ideal, very important. Understand who you want to serve and your outreach. You have to tailor it effectively. Now, I belong to this very conservative profession that you don't have the liberty to treat a particular strata. You can't say, oh, it's only the rich you want to treat in your practice. You don't want to treat the poor. No, you can't do that. That's not allowed based on the oath that we were made to swear to. But the truth about it is that your target audience or your target reach is very, very important. You have to ensure that you have your target reach. And then number 2, I will talk about optimizing online presence. These days, you can't rule out the power of social media. You just can't rule it out. That's where a lot of things happen. A lot of people are there, are selling whatever it is. So it's important to leverage on that. All right. Build strong websites, SEOs, active social media, are very crucial today. So you just have to ensure that you are on Instagram, on TikTok, you know them. So yeah, so you just have to be active there. Local community outreach. So we reach out, we start engaging banks. All right. So I didn't just sit down, and that's what my facilitator was saying. Mr. Bob was talking about it, that it's going to take time. All right. So you don't just sit there and wait for it to happen. You go out there and market yourself. So I will engage banks. I'll go to corporate offices, churches. They invite you. I mentioned in my introduction that I'm an oral health advocate. So I go to churches, they invite me, I give talks, oral health talk, how to take care of themselves orally and all that, how to brush their teeth. So I go with my models about talking about it. And through that, I have this problem, and they start coming. So community events are not that. The 4th thing I want to talk about is referral. Very, very important in professional services. You cannot, 85 to 90% of our patients in Gilead Dental Specialists right now are from referrals. I told you the first 6 months, I think first 3 months I wasn't even getting paid. I didn't make any money. The little money we made, I paid my staff, my nurses and all that. I wasn't getting paid. It was until after 6 months things started happening. And it happened majorly because there was this referral program. Whenever I see any patient, I'm looking at possible 10, 50, because when you make them feel okay, you treat them very well, better than the game, you can be rest assured that they will go all out. And that's how scaling up started increasing. I can't remember the last time we went a day without seeing a patient. Remember when we started 3 weeks? In fact, it was so bad that at some point, I wasn't thinking of wearing new shirts because I was thinking, what's the point? I mean, you wear new shirts, nobody's going to see it, So very, very effective marketing is not just about ads, it's about connecting with the right patients and showcasing your practice unique values. Next slide, please. Building an exceptional practice patient's experience. So in Gilead Dental Specialist, from the security post, when you come in, we don't joke with our patients. The moment you step in, the security man opens the gate, opens the door until he ensures that you are ushered in properly. All right. And then the receptionists, the front desk, they rise to receive you. So we create a warm, effective initial contact, and it makes a strong first impression. Very, very key. That impression is very, very important. Number 1, the security is a security space. All right, and they feel secure. There are some persons that they need to be in a place where they feel secure, and that's very, very important. The warm environment is also key. In fact, I saw a patient 3 or 4 weeks ago, and then the way the front desk received him and all that, he said, "How can I reach you?" He has not even seen the dentist. He has not registered to see the dentist. I just love the way you people welcome me. Oh my God, how can I register? How can I? And that says a lot. That says a lot. Very, very important. So in-office visit, ensure comfort, clear communication, and personalized care during appointment. Very, very important. So we take our time in Gilead Dental Specialists to engage our patients. We engage. In fact, one of the things we talk about is empathy. We treat our patients with empathy. We feel what they feel. You know, dental cases most of the time comes with pain, so we can relate. You know, we put ourselves in your shoes, and then we engage, explain things to you, we ensure that you are relaxed. You know, a lot of people don't want to visit the dentist because they feel there's going to be some level of pain and all that. I'm trying to say that within your space, ensure that everybody that comes within your space feel relaxed. Very, very important. Post-visit follow-up will always reinforce care with timely checks. All right. And when you come to Gilead Dental Specialist, the next day we are calling you. You will get a call from us. You would definitely. So we get feedback like, it's when I was abroad that I experienced this. Really, people call people in Nigeria, clinics and all that, just to build. And the whole idea is building an exceptional patient experience. So when they go, they just cannot stop talking about you. If they hear anybody that has anything related, go to Gilead Dental Specialist. Go to Gilead Dental Specialist, and that's very, very important. And outstanding patient experience is your most powerful marketing tool. Very, very important. Is key. Something I don't want any one of us to forget. From the moment they call to post-appointment follow-up, every interaction should be seamless and positive. Next slide, please. Staffing and team management, recruitment, training, retention, and high performance. This is a very, very, very sensitive part of professional business, professional service. Now, remember I talked about the vision. You are the visionary. You've gotten the vision. You are setting direction. The vision is clear. The mission is clear. But you are not going to be the only one running the business. You are not going to be the only one saying I just told you about from there. So there are times I'm not even around. All right. You have to build a system that your team is the heart of your practice. Very, very important. Invest, continue. You know, my first co-facilitator mentioned continuous training. This is something we can't overemphasize. You have to foster first supportive environment, create an environment where they are not scared. You are not the boss that everybody is running around. They are scared. They can't approach you. They can't walk. You know, I visited a place some years ago. I think 8, 9 years ago, I was supposed to get a job there. And then one of the reasons why I didn't get the job is everybody looks scared. The staff there, they look scared as though if they take the wrong step, there's going to be consequence. No, I just, and it wasn't just one or two people. I noticed everybody in that space had that look of fear, of you just, you know, and I don't think that's a very good space to create, you know, and it's very, very important. Ongoing professional development. So we emphasize training, positive reinforcement and recognition, clear roles and responsibility, team building initiatives. So the first picture you are looking at us is 2 years after we started. We were 6 then. The second picture you saw with increase, that was like 2 years last year. I think that's like 8. We're 8, but right now we are more than 10 right now. So God has really helped us, and we are building. So we didn't just start overnight. It's just what I'm trying to say. You, as time goes on, you begin to build confidence in your clients, your patients, and all that. Referrals come in, then you begin to scale. You begin to scale. Next slide, please. Next slide. All right. So continuous improvement, adapting to change. We analyze performance. So we do our KPI. All right, we review KPI and patient feedbacks to identify areas of growth. So when I tell you that we call our patients every day to find out, when we see you today, you can be rest assured you are going to get a call from us the next day. And one of the things we look for is feedbacks. We are not afraid of negative feedbacks because that's what we need. We improve on it. So every Monday, we talk about it. Every month is a time for training and getting feedbacks. Training over and over. So and it takes time. And that's what Mr. Bob was talking about, that it takes time. You have to train, they have to learn, they have to unlearn certain things, and they have to relearn. So we review we do our KPI, our key performance indicator. We review it from time to time. We want to get those feedbacks. What are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to engage the patient and all that? So there's this guy that is into training that visited our practice some years ago. And then he just asked me when he was done. He said, Dr. Kayode, please, which business, which company are you employing? Did you employ to train your people? I want to know. I want to know. I like the way they are so professional. Please, can you link me up so that I can bring them in to train my person? Yeah, I bring in one or two guys from time to time to talk to them, but it's majorly within us. We just have to train and train and train. And it's sort of say, wow, you mean well, yes, we work. Continuous training, very important. We embrace new techniques. Stay current with dental innovations. Now, I told you I'm practicing with an experience of more than close to 15 years. What I learned in school 15 years ago, things have changed. There are new things that are happening right now. So you have to stay abreast of innovations. You don't want to be stale. You don't want people to come to you and say, and they ask for a procedure. I say, I've not heard about that before. What are you talking about? So they read it, they saw it probably on social media, and they are coming to meet you that is supposed to be the professional, and you don't know. No, that's not acceptable. So you have to engage, you have to train. So I ensure that I'm abreast with current innovations. I'm current. I belong to so many groups. I watch videos on YouTube. I belong to associations to see that once new things come out, I'm trying to get it because I don't want someone to come to meet me and say, Dr. Kayode, please tell me about this. And I'm like, you can't, no, that's not acceptable. You have to improve. Foster a learning culture, encourage staff to continue learning and contribute to practice evolution. Next slide, please. Next slide. All right, so that's me. I have attended a couple of trainings, some abroad, some online, and some in Lagos. And next week or so, I'll be in another one in Abuja. So it's not, you can't stop. You just have to keep working on yourself and then keep getting better. Next slide, please. Next slide. Financial management mastery is important you optimize revenue and control costs. Now, this is very, very important for professionals. The fact that you are a dentist of 15 years experience or whatever professional area you belong to does not mean that you can handle the books. No. So you can be seeing a lot of patients, seeing a lot of clients, having turnovers, and at the end of the day, you are not really making profits. Yes, yes. So it's important you master your practice finances. Very, very crucial. Remember, it's business. It's very, very key. So this includes smart billing, effective insurance processing, proactive cost control without compromising quality. So I would have loved to dwell on this because a lot of times people come to meet you and they want to compare your pricing and your costs to what works in a place like a government hospital. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. This is private, all right? So it's important that they will come to you when they realize that the quality of service you are giving is top notch. They will always come to you. So I've seen people come from government hospitals and say, I don't like that. And this is not to say government hospital, this is not to demean government hospital. This is just to say that you just have to take the step higher and higher and higher. Very, very important. Accurate billing and coding, effective accounts, receivable management, strategy overhead reduction, very, very I would have loved to dwell on this. Very important. So when we buy consumables, we buy them in bulk. We buy them in bulk. You just have to cut cost as much as possible. I remember we were spending so much on power and all that. You invest in solar, you invest in and all that. So ensure that you reduce costs as much as possible. All right, because of time, investment in high ROI equipment, leveraging on, next slide, please, next slide. So for the accounting, the fact that you're a professional with very good professional with experience does not mean that the account part. So if you can't get somebody that is an account officer to help you manage the books, I think you should learn and you get, and there are things to help QuickBooks, Zoho, Wave, there are apps, technology you can leverage on to ensure that you get your books correct and you ensure that you are not just seeing a lot of clients, it's turning out to profit for you. Very, very, very important. Leveraging on digital technology, digital dentistry, practice effective efficiency. all right? You just have to be better. It's just what I'm talking about here. You have to leverage on technology. Because of time, I don't want to dwell on this. We have automate scheduling. So every 6 months, you are supposed to be doing your cleaning. So in 6 months, the moment you come to us, you get a text message. The moment you come in is locked in. You get text messages, you get reminded from appointments, all right, and all that. So we have hospital management apps that we leverage, or software that we use, all right, teledentistry. I have patients in the UK that I talk to, all right, I consult, all right, and when they need to come, they come in and they see me. So telemedicine, things have really gone different. And right now, things are changing. For example, you want to do veneers, you don't need to take measurements. I don't know if you know about that. You don't need to take measurements, send molds. No, there's a scan that you just scan, and right there in Dubai, they get it. And in 7 days, they send back. Things are changing. So you, in whatever space, and this is not just about medical space, in every professional aspect, I can assure you that you can leverage on technology to scale up. Next slide. Next slide. Final notes. Number one, God factor. God has really helped me by the help of the Holy Spirit. There is nothing I am today that is not traceable to God. If I tell you whatever achievements we've gotten, that it's by my power and by my skills, I'll be lying to you. The God factor for me is very, 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 very important. Number two, mentorship. Mr. Suala talked about it, that he got really rescued because of a system he crashed because of a mentor, you know. So mentor, you can't overemphasize the place of a mentor. Strategic partnerships and collaborations. Now, the fact that you're a professional, you can't be an island. You can't just be an island and say, you don't want to. No. There must be partnership and collaborations with other aspects of the other professional bodies within your space and even outside. So I have friends that eye doctors, the optometrists, the surgeons, plastic surgeons, and all that. I get referrals. I also refer to them, all right, because the way it works in the medical space is teamwork, all right. So it's a teamwork, all right. So you can't be an island. Collaborations and all that. Improve skills and training. Very, very, very important. We can't overemphasize this. I don't want to talk about that. I've explained that. Delayed gratification. Now, I see a lot of younger people, the moment they start making some money, first year they start a business and all that. The next thing is they are buying Benz and all that. And there's nothing wrong in buying Benz. I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong in buying the Benz. But why not build the system build the business in a place that there's system put in place that are sustainable. All right. So maybe first 2-3 years, put back whatever is coming into it and make it strong enough. Then you can now buy whatever Benz you want to buy. All right, very, very key. Delayed gratification. Professional indemnity, very important that as professionals, you need to protect yourself. It's not happening right now as much as it is in Nigeria, but abroad, you make a mistake, you'll be sued. And you need to ensure that you protect yourself. Thank you very much. I'll be taking questions. I hope you've learned one or two things as regards the step out of the box, the journey so far. So I'll hand you over to our next facilitator, Odufa Bro. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you, Doc, for this amazing session. First thing I would say is that you're listening to a practitioner. I say he's my dentist, so we cannot talk too much. He will soon send me a reminder to come. But you're doing really well, Doc, with your practice, and I look at it as a place where people can actually come and learn from you. So I'll be sending a few people your way for mentorship opportunities. Thank you so much, Doc. So next speaker up is Odufa Boro. She's a coach of coaches. Before I swell her head too much, let me allow her to talk. Go ahead, Odufa.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Coach Swanu. You're a coach. You're my coach. Thank you so much for the opportunity and for putting this knowledge share together. It has been so enlightening and it has really, really been critical in this time for a lot of us. We have benefited immensely. So I'm happy to also have the opportunity to give back. I also want to thank my co-facilitators, my brothers, Mr. Bob and Dr. K, thank you for sharing. I thank Mr. Bob very well for making the analysis, defining what professional services are, because I feel it's very, very important. One of the things I thought about is how people are sitting down on different expertise, not knowing that they can actually turn it into profit or income and actually be giving value at the same time, right? So I might even have some people here, I'm a coach, so I might have some people here who have certain expertise and they could be earning from it and making a difference at the same time, but probably they don't even know that's something that they can use. So I'll be happy today to just be sharing from my journey, so to speak, and the things that I've learned along the way in becoming a coach, how I started from doing free coaching to actually earning, as a coach, right? So I'm just going to share the step-by-step processes that I took that led me to this point where I can actually confidently charge people for my services, while at the same time, I'm ultimately seeking to create some level of value and solve a lot of problems. So my name is Odufa Buro. I am a certified family systems engineering professional. By that, when you hear engineering, so someone asked me recently, what is family engineering? As in, how does family relate to engineering? So it just means that I have the capacity to be able to troubleshoot, diagnose, and offer solutions to whatever family life problems or individual problems you may be facing in your relationship with yourself or with the people that you work with. So that's it. So as a family systems engineer, I have that capacity, specialized tools and training to be able to help change systems. So we study the systems that govern human behavior. So I have the capacity to study those systems for someone else and help them switch the system in a way that it benefits them, it profits them in their relationship, in their family life, in their marriage, even in their career. So that's what I do. So I'm certified by the Institute of Family Engineering and Development. I'm a very, very proud member. So the platform through which I render these services, through which I solve problems, is a Thrive Family Network. That's my that's the platform through which I help couples, individuals thrive in their relationships. And an extension of that practice is also the She Tribes, where I help women work in their identity and purpose and just live through to their potential. Then we also have Angel Hands Family Care Foundation, where we help underprivileged families to just get basic everyday resources or whatever support that they need. So that's me. So I'm a happy, fulfilled family life systems engineering. Some people call me coach, some people call me counselor, and whichever one you choose to call me, that's perfect because it falls within the line and boundaries of what I do. So next slide, please. So today now I'm calling myself a coach. I'm calling myself a family life engineering professional, but I did not start off that way. You probably think maybe I read maybe psychology or I went to school to be a therapist or something, but it didn't start off that way for me. And I feel this is important to share for the reason, for the purpose of those who might be in a current career right now, seeking to switch or maybe do coaching as a side business or something that they want to start up, right? So I came in as a business administrator out of school, seeking to make a difference in my world. All I wanted to do at that time was just to be a human resource, professional, because I just always knew that my life was centered around people, so to speak. So I actually wanted to specialize as a human resource professional, but I switched over to staying at home. Of course, life happened. I had children. I had a husband. I had to be going off to the rig. So we made that decision that I was going to stay home and just be available for the children. So that period became a time of reflection. The need to want to do something when you are told to stay still, and you're like, okay. But at the end of the day, that journey is something that I'm grateful for because it led me to a path of passion where I discovered that I had, that natural desire to want to see families thrive. I saw a lot of families breaking down around me. People just came to me for counseling, for advice, and all of that. And at that point, all I wanted to do was just solve problems, right? But at the end of the day, I didn't even know that it would be something that I would end up doing professionally and even earning from it. But one of the key things that made me share this my journey from going from as a business administrator into a family life coach was that I was able to have some transferable skills that I moved from what I used to do to what I do now, which is very critical. Next slide, please. So we have people who move from one career to another. Maybe you are intending to now become a coach, and you think that maybe the current skill set that you have may not be able to thrive in that sector, but it's important that as a coach, as someone who wants to coach or someone who is already coaching, you evaluate your existing skills from where you're coming from. I've rarely met anyone, maybe they are, but I've rarely met anyone who actually went to school from the beginning saying that they wanted to be a coach. Even those that went to school to study, psychology or something around therapy or whatever, they didn't as in actually maybe intend that they will be coaches, but somehow maybe life and just like maybe passion drew them into that space, so there will always be transferable skills that you are coming in with, as someone who is maybe coming from another field, or even probably you want to be a career coach within your own sector. There are still transferable skills that will be helpful to you, and it's important that as a coach or someone who intends to be a coach, you are able to evaluate those existing skills, and also you're able to identify the skills that you will be needing for your coaching, for this new passion, this newfound purpose that you have found now. You have to be able to identify the existing the needed skills in that field. And it's also important that I share that even though I had transferable skills, like I had communication skills, client relationship skills. So I was always a people person in my field. I had organizational skills, report writing skills, computer skills. All of these skills were fantastic. But the reason why I say evaluate is because even if I had good communication skills, I was communicating to a different kind of people. I worked in the oil and gas sector, where I used to go to offices like Schlumberger, Shell with POs, collect POs, lobby for jobs, organize tenders and all of those kinds of things, right? So the level of communication that I needed for those people is not the same that I need now as a coach, because as a coach now is kind of personal. I'm going to be supporting people to live better, supporting people to get a certain result, to hit a certain target, to meet a certain goal. So of course, my communication now has to be more empathetic and somewhat relatable. So it's important that as someone who wants to go into coaching, already coaching or whatever, you already know that, okay, you have transferable skills, but which of the skills you need to refine to fit into your practice now, what you want to do as a coach. So it's very important that you make those evaluations, and then you also identify new skills that you need. So I needed a lot of skills, even if I was coming with some lived experience. Of course, I'm a married woman, so it was easy for people to relate with me wanting to help other marriages, right? Which is not the ultimate at the end of the day, because you can actually coach people from learned experience, which we're going to talk about later. All right, so I discovered that there were skills that I needed to develop. So I had to take a certification course for family life practice. I had to take emotional intelligence training. Mr. Bob mentioned it, our first speaker, he talked about, because professional service business involves engaging people, and you have to be able to understand that not everybody is like you. Not everybody thinks like you. We all come from different backgrounds, different experiences, different upbringings that have shaped our beliefs, our perspectives, our values, and different things. So not everybody are the same, and you have to understand that people are different. So even in your coaching practice, you want to be able to understand that clients will differ from person to person. So maybe one process that worked for one client may not necessarily, you might have to tweak it or rejig it for another client just to be able to get the ultimate outcome that you want as a coach, right? So I had to take neuro-linguistic programming, which had to do with the study of human behavior as well, just to be able to help people pull through from one state of consciousness or belief, to another. So that was training I did. And I had to also do a preparing for bliss coaching training, which has to do with preparing people for marriage, because along the line I discovered that even if I have a passion for families across board, I had a deep passion for helping people prepare, for marriage itself, so that it reduces the work that we have when people are already in the marriage. So that is it for skills. So it's important that even now, if you want to go into coaching, it's important that you evaluate the skills that you have now and how they can be better functioning in this newfound passion or this new endeavor that you want to go into, and you identify the new skills that you need. Next slide, please. So that's it for transferable skills. All right, so before I go into the core factors and the things that helped me, to transition as a non-paid coach to someone that is now being paid, to coach, right? It's a mindset that I had, because it started as a passion project, as in something I just wanted to do. I didn't even know that I could make money from it, but I found out soon enough that it was very, very beneficial, that I came into it, with this kind of mindset. And this is it. Don't start your practice motivated by making money. Be motivated by the need to solve problems. Be motivated by the need to solve problems. This is very, 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 very critical. I know we came here to talk about income stream, and by no means am I minimizing the need for resources when it comes to running the day-to-day activities of your practice, right? But the truth is that the more problems you can solve, the more money you can make as a coach. Because coaching is about solving problems for real people. It's not one of those things you just do, as something you want to make a quick rich scheme kind of activity. So I often tell people that if you want to make quick cash, look for something else to sell. Like Mr. Bob mentioned, having a side business. I wouldn't advise you uprooting yourself from your 9 to 5 job, if you don't have maybe like a saving, plan, maybe, because you can actually decide that you want to quit your job if you have a plan already, that you already have income that you have saved over time that can carry you for the period of time where you need to find your footing, right? But at the end of the day, coaching is something that really requires a lot of patience. And because it requires a lot of patience, I always advise people that it's important that you build a passion in it. So you have a desire to solve problems. So you want to bring value, and in return, you will get value for it. But this mindset is important. Why? Because all of the things I want to share with you, the step-by-step process that I took into earning, from coaching, it's because I had the patience to do it. So I wasn't driven by making money. I was driven by passion to help people. So it gave me the ability to just commit, to finding my niche. It gave me the time to commit to be able to design and even adopt an effective framework. And then it helped me to, over time, build credibility and all of that. Why? Because you're dealing with people in coaching, they can feel your energy, right? So if you're not really interested, you don't really care about solving their problems, it will tell on what you want to do. It will tell on your ability to help them, follow through on whatever it is, because your intent may not be all the way right. And it's not this is not the kind of work where, let me use, and I apologize to anybody that is a mechanic or a family to a mechanic. This is not the type of job where you repair choke and you spoil clutch so that the person will come back. No, it's the type of job where you actually want to fix the problem. In fact, you want to even go the extra mile to just be sure that this person gets the help that they need, change the behavior that they need to change, get the closure that they need to get, or whatever kind of service that you want to render to them, right? So it's important that you have this mindset. And this mindset is critical, just as we proceed to share the step-by-step, the things that you need to be able to have to do to be able to be an effective and efficient coach that is credible enough to attract clients that are willing to pay you, to solve their problems, right? So next slide, please. So please, with that mindset, you're going to make money, and by all means possible, I guarantee you that you still need you still need to be a business coach, right? You still need to be someone that is business, what's the word now? You still need to understand the business of coaching. So the fact that I say don't be driven by making money doesn't mean that you are going to isolate yourself from learning the business of coaching, because you have to also learn that, because it puts a lot of structure to what you are doing. And of course, you need resources, for easy flow of what you do. Of course, when you are in a session with a client, let's say I have a virtual, I always have virtual clients, right? And of course, I don't run my Zoom. I have a paid Zoom, and that paid Zoom, it doesn't pay for itself, right? So, all right, so moving on now with that mindset. Don't forget the mindset. You want to solve problems, so you will have the patience to do all of these things. The first thing that you will need to do if you want to be an effective and efficient coach is to find your niche. You have to find your niche. I don't know that I call it niche or niche, but you have to find your niche. And it's very, very important, because at the end of the day, you cannot help everybody. You cannot help everybody. You cannot solve everybody's problem, but I guarantee you that there is a problem that you can solve for people, but you cannot solve everybody's problem. So it's important that you are able to find your niche. So we want to find your niche because it gives you clarity on what you want to do, focus. So you're able to focus on the training that you need for that particular niche. You're able to focus on the techniques that you need for that particular, the methodology that you need, the framework, which we're going to talk about, next. But at the end of the day, you want to be able to have clarity. And that's why I said you have that mindset of wanting to solve problems, because you now want to find your niche. And we talked about transferable skills, because skills are also important in trying to find your niche, because it's important that you understand what skills that you have and what skills that you need in that particular niche. So I started out coaching singles. I didn't just immediately go into coaching married people like I'm doing right now, right? So I started with singles, and then I began to metamorphose into married people. And then as I started coaching married people, I realized that most of the problems are foundational. So I went into premarital coaching, and all of that. So I was able to, at some point, find my niche. And even looking at this right now, I realized that my niche could even be further suppressed, because I'm seeing the places where I really, really want to focus my energy and my time and my resources and my investment in, right? So you need clarity, and that is what finding your niche will give to you, as an individual. Then you also need to, and it also helps you to build some level of confidence and credibility. So this is the importance of finding your niche, and I'm going to go into how you can find your niche as an individual, because right now you may be sitting as an expert in something, and you don't even know that you have, what it takes, the skill to be able to, support someone else to achieve that particular thing. That is what coaches do. We support people, guide people, and just take them from where they are to where they need to be, based on their need, right? So next slide, please. So it's important that you find a niche for clarity, for confidence, and for credibility. Having said that, these are the essential questions that you need to ask yourself if you want to find your niche. And this niche is so important, especially if you are someone that you're already probably coaching, but you feel like you're not, getting the wagon rolling. It seems as if maybe you're not getting any sense of fulfillment, or you're not making, the income that you should be making, haven't evaluated how long that you've been. Maybe you need to reevaluate your niche with these questions, right? Because it's very important, because it's important what your focus is on. So your niche means that you want to know. I think I would simply just say a niche is, finding your niche just means who do you want to solve a problem for? Why do you want to solve this problem? How are you going to solve the problem? Are people willing to pay, to get this problem solved? That's how you can find your niche. It's a simple step, but I'm going to use this slide that I've created to explain it, to just break it down so that you can effectively do your personal evaluation and get it right for yourself. All right, so finding your niche is important that you begin with the two important questions. Do you want to coach from your lived experience, or you want to coach from your learned experience? So your lived experience is the first-hand, is like a first-hand experience, a life-changing personal journey, while you, as in maybe you went through something and now you want to help other people, through a step-by-step process, overcome some of the challenges or the roadblocks that you had to overcome to get there. That's what coaching is. That's what lived experience coaching is. Then is it learned experience? Learned experience means that, okay, so you want to use, maybe from knowledge, you are able to give yourself to formal education, training, exposure, through practice, proven research. So you want to do learned experience, right? So lived experience is the fact that you bring some level of authenticity to what you are doing, right? Because you have lived through that experience. There's relatability with the lived experience. People are able to, you are able to empathize with clients because you have lived through that experience. So for example, let's say you are a stay-home mom, right? Just like I was. Maybe I was a stay-home mom that now discovered my purpose while I was staying at home, and now I want to help other moms, who are currently raising maybe 0 to 5-year-olds, help them to navigate through their life, work, balancing parenting with discovering, their purpose. It can be a coaching platform for me as well, because it's a lived experience. Or let's say when you came into your career space, you had to face a lot of hurdles just to be able to get to the position that you are in now. Maybe when you came in as a trainee, you were very confused, so you had to find a way. You were reading, you were researching, and then you ended up, in the position that you wanted. Maybe now you are in a managerial position, and now you want to help other trainees, people that are just coming out of school, to be able to learn, the ropes. Just help them overcome whatever hurdles that you had to face, getting to that managerial level. So you want to be a career coach. So that is a lived experience. And that could also be a learned experience. Probably you are, maybe it's not in that particular, your particular career path, but you want to be able to teach people. Maybe it's not, maybe you're a lawyer, but you want to be able to teach probably a banker how to start up their career, and how to transition from trainee to mid-level staff to, and that one now you have to learn it because you're a lawyer, you are not a banker, but you have the experience to help the person just with the practical foundational, things that they need to know, need to learn to be able to navigate through different stages of their career. So that could be learned experience, right? So at the end of the day, my school of thought and my advice will always be that you integrate the two. You integrate the two because each of these experiences have their disadvantages. If you are working with lived experience as a coach, chances are that you may be a bit biased, you may be subjective, as well. You may think that your way is the only way, as in your process is the only process. Meanwhile, there are data-based, researches that have proven that there are other processes, but what it gives you an edge is that you are able to as you're able to put some level of empathy into what you're doing, you're able to put some authenticity into what you're doing. You can tell clients that I've been here, I know what you're going through, and I can help you, but still you're still able to add, some personal, some learned, strategies or things that you have researched or things that you have explored. So you're not biased, you're not subjective, you're not projecting yourself to your client with your lived experience. And then also the disadvantage of learned experience is that you might not be relatable. You might not be able to whip up something. It's not like you cannot learn or develop empathy as a skill, right? But it's just that if you are using learned experience and lived, it just makes it easier. It just makes it easier for you. So you're not trying to learn how to be empathetic. You're not trying to learn how to be relatable, and all of those kinds of things. So it's important for you as an individual that you are able to define maybe what you have lived through. And then you also want to be able to learn, through the processes. You also want to be able to learn through the processes. Can you hear me? All right, so you want to be able to learn through the processes. So at the end of the day, you want to be able to ask yourself different questions. So what are your unique skills? We talked about skills before. Unique skills, your strengths. These are the things that you want to ask. These are the things that you want to ask. Okay, so I need to get running now in my time. So you want to be able to know your unique skills, ask questions. What are my unique skills, my strengths? Then you want to also be able to ask yourself, what specific problems have I identified that I want to solve? And then you also want to ask yourself, what kind of people do I want to solve these problems for? Because your need has to be specific. So let's say now you want to be a career coach. So you don't just want to be a career coach. To which specific kind of people? Do you want to serve bankers? Do you want to serve people that are in oil and gas? What kind of people do you want to serve? Okay, so now you want to serve people that are in oil and gas. Is it men or women? Or you want to do both? That's another question you also have to ask yourself. So now you want to do men and women. So is it from entry level, or you want to coach people from mid-level, or you want to coach people in managerial level? So those are the kind of questions you need to ask yourself to evaluate. And I'm sure these slides will be made available so that you can use this template to define your niche as a coach. Next slide, please. So having discovered your niche, the next thing that you need to have is a framework. As a coach, every successful coach needs a well-structured and proven framework. And framework was something that changed the game for me, because before, probably, okay, I didn't find my niche immediately and all of that. It took some time, but framework became the working tool that I used to begin to now be able to make money from what I do. And I got that when I joined the institute, when I trained to be certified. I got a framework that cuts across different stratas of my own core for families, and the framework can even work across. So there are frameworks that you will discover, maybe you adopt or you research and you develop for yourself, and then you now discover that it doesn't just fit your particular niche, it can also metamorphose into other kinds of things, right? So it's important that you discover a working framework, a proven framework. A framework is like a systematic process, it's a step-by-step process, simply put, without speaking big English. It's a step-by-step process that you want to use to achieve, what you want to achieve for your clients. Because when clients come to you, you want to be able to define, okay, so when clients come to me, do I want to give them a pre-session questionnaire? Then when I give them the pre-session questionnaire, do I want to do some assessments for them to be able to troubleshoot what could be going on with them, or where their mind or their behavior or their self, where they could be at this moment, because you want to be able to know where your client is at the moment. That's what coaching is, because definitely where they are is not where they want to be, so they want to move. So you need a proper framework that can take a step-by-step process how you want to be able to get your clients to the end point, to their goal. So you define the problem, you brainstorm possible solutions, you evaluate the solutions as you are going along with that client, and then you implement the solutions, and then you are monitoring whether those solutions are working, and if they are not working, you make adjustments. So that's a framework, and these frameworks are available in different platforms and in different professions. You just have to be able to look out for it. You just have to be able to research it or do some findings, and I'm going to show you how I came to discover this framework. Yes, I know it's the institute, but there are different things that I did that made me realize that the framework was my my key, to making money as a coach, because the framework helped me to define my processes. So now when people come to me for coaching, before I was just like, okay, so what do you want to do? And I'm just making things up as I go. But the framework has guided me now that I have a pre-session questionnaire, I have assessments that I run that just take me straight to the problems, right? So that in case, because you don't want to spend hours and hours listening to somebody just to be able to figure out what could be wrong with them. So a framework can ease that process for you, where you are just able to know that at this point that you have, you just know the problem that they are facing, and you are able to just now create the solutions based on those problems that you have discovered. Next slide, please. Thank you. All right, so after you have discovered your framework, and framework is something that you can learn about. Ever Coach by Mind Valley has a lot of resources about frameworks. Even the institute that I certified with, Institute of Family Engineering and Development, they have frameworks that can work across. If you are in education, if you want to be a career coach, whatever it is that you are doing, you are just able to use that framework to be able to create solutions, for your clients, and put structures into your practice. So when you have a framework, it now gives you the ability when you have a framework, it gives you the ability to now be able to create your coaching package. So you now want to be able to define your coaching package. So you found your niche, and then you have your framework. So that framework now gives you the guide that you need to now create the kind of coaching packages that you want to offer. So you can offer one-on-one group coaching, you can offer assessment and reports, one-on-one. So I do one-on-one coaching, and I also do group coaching, depending on the needs, of the clients, and depending on the needs of the builder. So if I feel like when someone comes to me and I feel like it's something that will require, maybe some time and one-on-one, I determine from my assessments whether it's going to be a one-on-one coaching, or I put the person on a waiting list to join a coaching program that I have that is a group coaching. I also make money from doing assessments and reports. So I can determine that if you want to discover your personality now, maybe you want to discover your personality, your love language, you want to know the marital status of your family, of your marriage, or as a single person, you want to determine whether you are ready for marriage, right? I have assessments that I can run. So I can run that assessment for as low as maybe 30,000, 20,000. I can run an assessment and give you your results, right? Then if you want me to now create a report for you out of that assessment, I have another package that I create for you, where I say, okay, I'm going to do the assessment and I will write a report. That means detail the findings there. I will analyze, what the result is from those assessments. That could cost you as much as maybe, let's say, 80,000, 50,000, depending, right? Then if you want me to now, have sessions with you, maybe you figure that there is a challenge, based on that assessment, and you want me to create sessions for you, we are now looking at another package, because I will now be including additional costs that will now that means I'm writing assessment for you, I'm doing report, and I'm also going to be doing one-on-one coaching. So that's a different. So I'm just trying to explain to you that it's important that you take out time to prepare your coaching packages to know, okay, this is how much I charge for assessments, only assessment and reports, one-on-one coaching. This is how much I charge for speaking engagements, or no, I don't charge for speaking engagements because I know that from there I can have exposure and get referrals just by speaking. So you want to also create digital courses and workshop. Digital courses and workshop becomes like your legacy projects, because at the end of the day, if you want to scale as a coach, you want to be able to have things, or you want to be able to just be earning as you're going, you want to be able to have things that are out there that could just be making money for you. And that is what digital courses could do for you, because it's already, maybe you have pre-recorded, and maybe you want to sell it on places like Seller and all those other platforms where you can sell your digital courses. Maybe you want to even write a course for Udemy, Coursera, all those kinds of platforms. And then maybe you want to create membership communities. That's also a way to make money. You can also do corporate training and consulting. So as a family life coach, because there's a framework that I have, and it creates a methodology whereby I can also help employees, coach them on employee well-being. So that puts me in a corporate space, but that's not that's not where I want to go right now. But I'm just telling you that a framework opens you to diverse opportunities for streams of income and helps you create coaching packages that can actually, earn you some money. Next slide, please. All right, so as a coach, you need a business model, and I know my time is almost out. So every coach needs a solid business model. So now you have found your niche. Now you have a framework. You have created your coaching packages. How do you want to get your clients? How do you want to get your audience? So are you going to go to them, or are you going to have them come to you? What's your strategy? So every successful coach needs a solid business model that aligns with their strengths and lifestyle. The key is picking one approach and committing to it for at least 6 months to see results. So business model is not something that you just try this model and then you move on after 1 month. Oh, it did not work, it did not work. As a coach, it's important that you stick to something for a long period of time. That's why I said it's important that you have a mindset that you're not just here to make money, you're here to solve problems, so that you have the required patience and the resilient, nature in you to be able to invest your time, to be able to define the things that really, really work for you as a coach. So next slide, please. So there are 2 business models, and I will just run through them quickly. So there are 2 proven business models. This is by Mind Valley. Mind Valley is a very great resource for coaches. They're on YouTube, they're on Instagram. They have great resources, courses, things that you can do to up your game as a coach. I learned a lot, from them, right? So you want to be able to determine whether you want to do a content-based business model or you want to use a connection-based business model. So a content-based means you want to use your social media platforms. So you're going to be doing posts and doing videos that pertains to the problem that you want to solve. So you found your niche now. So you'll be creating content that relates to the problem that you want to solve. And then you have people speak on it, people comment, and from there you're able to just exchange, people ask questions, you engage and all of that. And then you're able to now convert, most of those people into paying clients, so to speak, right? And then another business model you could use is the connection model, where you go for events, workshops, networking, activities. You are just meeting people and able to have conversations with them. By this time, you have known the niche, you have understood, and that means the problem you want to solve and the people you want to solve them for, and how you want to solve them. Because when you're having conversations with people, you have to be able to open them up to possibilities. That's the possibility of solving the problems that they have, because that's the only way that they will be willing to want to pay, for you. So you have one-on-one conversations with people. I've met people like that at random, where I just met them, at in church or at an event, and I had conversations with them, and we started engaging since then, right? So next slide, please. So it's not like these 2 models are the only models, right? There could be other strategies. It's just left for you to be able to research what works best for you in your own line of coaching. So the things that have helped me so far, that have helped me grow into the kind of coach that I want to be and intend to become, is my ability to collaborate with people. So I'm able to collaborate with people. I'm able to partner with other professionals. I'm not isolating myself, because as a coach, you need to be able to, as a professional service person, you need to be able to actually put yourself out there, because it's not like you're working for one organization and they have marketers and salespeople and all that. And you could grow to have those things. But in the meantime, especially in the beginning stage of your career, and even always, you just have to be able to be out there. People need to know you. People need to hear you. People need to know that you do these kinds of things. So when people come to me and like, oh, so I'm having this issue and you came to mind. I came to mind because I'm always putting it out there that this is what I do. And that's why people come to me. So you have to be able to invest your time in collaborations, invest money in professional certifications, not just certification for the name of it, but certifications that you know can really give you the tools, the skills, and the frameworks that you need to excel in your own, coaching practice. And then you also need to join professional network. So everything you do must be with intent and with purpose, right? So you join a network that, other practitioners like yourself, specific to your niche, and maybe expanded niche as well, right? They're able to just exchange notes, exchange ideas, give you tips and all of that, even collaborate with you, make referrals to you. So I have people refer to me. So I have professionals that are parenting coaches, and maybe while they are coaching people on their parenting, they discovered, okay, that there are deeper issues in their marriage even before their parents. So they refer them, to me as a family life coach, right? So those are the kinds of things that you can benefit from professional networks. Then also mentorship. So I'm not just saying that just give yourself to be mentored, but you also become a mentor, because while you're mentoring, you're also learning. So I have a mentor in the family life space who coaches me, who puts me through a lot of things. And I'm also a mentor in a way that when I mentor, I gain better understanding of my processes and my practices as well. Then also another thing you need to do is to coach. So you learn how to coach by coaching. And if you're at the starting point of your career, you might start coaching people free, or just charge them a little something. So because at the end of the day, when you're going to be charging people, you're going to be charging people based on the value that you can bring, based on your ability to solve their problem. So if you feel like you're in that place where you can actually solve the problem, that means you have some proven frameworks that you have developed and is working for you. By all means, you can charge. But it's important that as someone who wants to coach, or learn how to coach, or skill as a coach, you spend your time actually coaching, because you will learn how to coach by coaching. Because all of the things that you have learned about your niche, you have learned about your you've gotten a framework, whether you adopted or you developed one, you have a business model, and now you're putting it into practice, so you're coaching and coaching. So you're understanding your process, you're understanding even whether your framework, is as effective as you think, as you're coaching people. So as you're coaching, you are tweaking, you are changing, because like I said before, you will meet different kinds of people on your path of coaching. So you are able to make different, and at a point, you might not even now need to be tweaking, because at a point, you just have all the different frameworks, all the different frameworks for different kinds of people, different kinds of problems that they need to solve in that area. Next slide, please, and the last. So I think we're done with this. So these are all of the things that helped me. So you grow by being in the arena, you stay in the arena of what you do.
Thank you.
Collaborate, and all of that. So that's me. So if you want to connect with me, you can send me an email on thrivefamilylife@gmail.com. You can connect with me on Instagram, Thrive Family Network, or Faburo, LinkedIn, or Faburo. I believe that you can start coaching, even from today, from now. Don't let your expertise lie dormant. If you have lived through any experience, it's an opportunity for you to use what you have experienced to teach other people. Remember, without being biased, you can now give yourself time to training and creating opportunities for yourself to be able to be able to now know how to do it professionally in a way that you're not projecting your own personal experiences to your clients. All right, so thank you so much. Just remember that your unique combination of skills, experiences, and passion positions you to serve clients in ways no one else can. The world needs what you have to offer. Start where you are and use what you have and take the next step. Believe that you have the capacity to solve the problems that you want to solve, and you will solve them effectively. Thank you. Over to you, Coach Swano.
Well done, ma. Fantastic. Awesome session. I like the depth that you gave us in terms of how to go about it. A lot of people, we're in this fake it to make it age. Everybody on YouTube and on Instagram now is a coach, but thank you for just going in depth to tell us how it is done properly. And I hope a lot of people on the call can pick one or two things. And also, if she was speaking a bit too fast, you can get this message, slow it down on YouTube, and then rewatch everything she said again. Thank you very much. All right, so we're coming to the last lap, and it's been a journey. It's been months and months of preparation, months and months of talking with different experts who have given their time, their knowledge, just to help share things that, have hopefully been beneficial to every single person that has joined the call. It has been an honor to be the convener of the 7 or 8 actionable income stream series. But one thing I want to leave with you all is the fact that action is the real measure of intelligence. You can hear all these things that have been said right from February, where we started with the financial markets, up until September now, where we are talking about professional services. And it should just be like, oh, it was nice, but if you don't do anything about it, that's where it's going to end. So I want to just share with you what this has been for me, and I hope you've also had a wonderful time. So the first masterclass series was the financial markets masterclass. The action I took was, to go back to Stanbic IBTC. I realized I actually had a money markets fund account with them. And I just started doing some stuff with them. And trust me, since February till now, I know how much I've earned with Stanbic IBTC on a daily basis. It's mind-boggling. I just wish I had started long time ago, but this is the step I took. So the point is, don't take it for granted that you're learning, all these things. Please put it to action. And so for the next masterclass, which was the real estate masterclass, I personally wasn't really big on real estate because I just don't like entering bush to be checking land, but I came across the REITs um, during the real estate masterclass, and it's very easy. You can buy REITs as low as 100 naira, 200 naira, and just be part of a company that has property in highbrow areas, and they pay you dividends, and of course the value of your stock also goes up. So that's the easiest way to get on the real estate property ladder, and that's just what I did. So of course crypto is my main forte. I bought a bit more of the commodities and crypto assets that are of interest to me. I hope this class is insightful to a lot of people. Of course, crypto is very volatile. You need to do your own research and also take ownership of your decisions. For the intellectual property masterclass, I was able to understand my retirement number. Retirement is not an age. I calculated that number and I'm very excited because I'm almost there. Yeah. So anytime I can walk away and I don't feel like, anything drastic is going to happen to my life. So that's something I got out of this masterclass. Also, I was able to complete my second book, The Greatness Journey, which will be out. In fact, it is out globally. It's going to be out in Nigeria next month in October. So that's something I did. I was able to publish and it was fantastic. For the creativity masterclass, I'm currently working with some creatives to put out my edutainment series, teaching about financial literacy and all of that. So that work is in progress. For the entrepreneurship masterclass, I was able to relaunch my own New Kings lifestyle brand with my merchandise and all of that stuff. So that's great. And but career masterclass again, I took action because we learned during that masterclass that there are 4 prison guards to the rat race. Yeah, fear, greed, ignorance, and conformity. So it was just doing a check on where I was with all those 4 prison guards and have I actually found my ikigai, which I have. So I hope everybody that took part in all of this did something along those lines as well. And then finally, professional services masterclass. I am also a coach, so I'm taking that to the next level. I'm repositioning my Dominion Coach brand to serve elites. You heard Odufa say that you have to find your niche. So yes, unfortunately, my niche is elites, not like Dr. K that says he has to treat everybody. So I'm going to look and I'm going to fish in the right pond, so that I don't waste my time with people that I'm not supposed to be talking to. So thank you very much for your time and your passion and just your staying power for being here from February, for those of us who were here from February till now. I want to say two things. Yeah. Beyond making money, we are all on this earth on purpose to solve a problem and also to be of use. We have an assignment, or we each have assignments that we're supposed to fulfill. And a lot of times, and I think I touched on this in one of the sessions, most of us don't actually know that we are God's masterpiece. He created us so that we can do things he had planned for us to do long time ago. And also, we are not aware of the way to the city, as it were. And why do I say city? Because I believe fundamentally that we are all called to dominate a particular niche on this earth. And so if you don't know what that niche is, you're just going to be struggling. And the toil of the fool wearies him, for he doesn't know the way to the city. Everybody has a city. So I want to encourage everybody to make these two prayer points something you do daily. Lord, show me the good things you have planned for me to do, and then also show me the way to the city that is meant for me. Because without that, you're always going to be struggling, you're always going to be toiling, and you will not be able to have the time that you require to actually make a mark on this earth. Okay? And then before you go, I want us to practice something, pay it forward. All of the things you've heard, all of the things you have learned, is because some people took out of their busy schedules. I mean, you should ask the facilitators. I was on their case 24 hours for each of the sessions, and they actually carved out the time they required to put this together. Why? So they can be a blessing to you. Of course, nobody has paid for any of these classes. It's on purpose. We're paying it forward. God has blessed us with talent, blessed us with wisdom, expertise, and we're paying it forward so that we can be a blessing to whoever hears, or listens to these master classes. So all we're asking is that you adopt that as part of your own culture as well, to pay it forward. Send this video maybe to somebody, help somebody with a skill, help somebody with that expertise that you have, so that the world becomes a better place as a result of you being on the earth. Okay, and I would now bring the session to an end. Thank you so much to our wonderful facilitators for your time, for your patience, and for all you did to help us understand a little bit more about professional services. And I would like to now take questions, and I'll be fielding them to the right facilitators if there are any. So please, the floor is open. If you have questions, kindly put it in the comment box or the chat box, and then we will field them as required. Thank you very much. All right, so please, are there any questions? Yes, I see there's a question. My question is, what structures do I need to put in place for successful legal practice? You spoke passionately about structure. So I'm thinking that should go to, is Dr. K on the call? Dr. K, are you there? If you're not there, then maybe Bob, you want to give it a shot. What structures do I need to put in place? So any of you can take it.
All right. Good evening. So for structures, I think you need to look specifically at the kind of practice you do. But for, like you said, legal practice, simple foundational structures could be have a proper client onboarding process or a client onboarding system. While I was talking, I talked about CRM softwares, which are your client relationship management softwares. So have proper client onboarding so that you can actually keep a log of all the clients that you attend to. Then for you, since you do a legal practice, possibly a case management tool, then you have knowledge repository. And there are some very robust, for example, I know Salesforce is very robust, but maybe that might be too expensive for you to go into right at this point in time. So, but I think it's something you can look up, Google, use ChatGPT, look up free case management tools or client management tools. Then you also want to have people structure. That is for when even if you don't have people now, you want to have those structures written down. So for when you probably will scale up. So what are the define roles clearly in your organization or in your practice. I think I know for legal matters, they have what they call paralegal, they have the legal associate. So you need to define the roles of these people, let it be in pen and paper, so that when you hire these hands or when you hire these people, they are laid down rules for them to follow. Then you want to have revenue and growth structure. So when I was practicing at the early stage of my practice in 1990, in 2009, 2001, 1999, sorry, I didn't have any professional or business bank account where I knew that my practice money went. It was coming into my personal account. So because of that, I couldn't track what I was making from my practice or what was coming into the practice, if I was even making profit or loss. So if you have this put down, like a growth structure or a revenue structure, you can now also productize your services. Then you can do, I know my lawyer reached out to me and say, okay, this year, I have a lawyer, a personal lawyer, and he reached out to me. I think that was earlier this year, and say, okay, this year I want to do retainership. So those are structures you can put around your legal services that will help you scale up your business. I think these are the few things, and I want to believe we're in the world of artificial intelligence. If you ask ChatGPT, what structures do I need to put for my legal services? Simple structures. It does not have to be very robust or in-depth. You would find something that would work with your unique model. So I don't know if that answers.
Fantastic. I think it does. I think it does. That last bit about ChatGPT really works. AI is your friend, though. Please try and leverage AI. It will really give you all the stuff that you need. Thank you so much, Bob, for
Can I
that.
just give a quick response to that too as well? I don't really
Yes,
have much to
please.
say, but rather than just say, I advise that you look for someone who is already practicing, because that's what helped me. Someone who is already practicing, who already has probably a law firm or something, and go and understudy. You actually need mentorship, because we can just give you surface advice, because we are not legal practitioners. We don't know the methods or processes. I know that there will be a lot of case management and all of those things. Our approach may not even be as precise and as straightforward as yours would be. So my advice would be to actually go and seek some kind of mentorship or even collaboration. You don't have to start the practice on your own. You can actually collaborate with someone else who probably has more of the resources, more of the skill set, more of the knowledge, and work with that person as well.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Odufa, for that. Indeed, we need to collaborate more, and then obviously understudy, get a coach that can help you to, move faster and hopefully avoid pitfalls. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so are there any other questions? I don't think I'm seeing questions. It's just hailing, coach. Odufa, you have fans on this page. Well done. All right. Questions. Let's have an open mic. This is our last day open mic session now. So if maybe you haven't typed and you have a question you would like to ask, just unmute yourself and ask your question, please. Go ahead. So we'll take another 3 to 4 minutes for that, and then Sonia for Canada. Fantastic. You're already making me proud, sir, that you joined this masterclass. Well done. All right. Any takers? Do we have any questions online? Let me even check YouTube. Last time we ignored YouTube. So let's see if there are questions on YouTube. So, okay, if we don't have questions on the Zoom call, maybe we can just take 1 or 2, what would I call it, vote of thanks, but just to find out what the masterclass series has done for you. So maybe somebody would like to just share what being a part of this masterclass series has done for you financially. Has it helped you? Have you made some more money? Have you started something new? Let's just hear from you, please. So please, if you raise your hand, use the what they call it now, the tools to raise your hand on the Zoom call, and then okay, we have Sam Ed or Samuel. Is that Samuel Ed? Sam Ed. Go ahead.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity, sir. So, I can say that I've been blessed immensely. I've been blessed immensely by almost every section. So, the one that stood out for me was I didn't think it would stand out because I was like, what do I need with creativity? I'm into education. What do I need with entrepreneurship? And amazingly, I think it was doing the in creativity, yeah. Doing the creativity, I got inspired to start a book I'm currently writing. And I currently didn't have, I was thinking of it, but I didn't think I could write a book. But doing the creativity masterclass, I got a lot of insights. It was so overwhelming that I was like, I didn't think I could get anything from creativity because I knew I was basically into education. Then also the entrepreneurship masterclass, it expanded my knowledge. Joining with tonight's session on starting my own child life coaching organization. So I've been too blessed. I've been too blessed. Thank you
Fantastic.
for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. I really am very happy to hear that it has spurred you to take action in those two ways, writing a book and then also contemplating starting your coaching practice. Okay, well done. Any other takers, please? If you've been part of any of our sessions and you've gotten something out of it and maybe also implemented something, because the whole theme is actionable income streams. Have you taken action? So do we have any other hand up who would like to speak? Don't be shy. Don't be shy. This is the last of our masterclass series, so please feel free to talk if you have anything to share with us. Do we have any taker?
Hi, everyone.
Hello, is that Chinedu? Chinedu, go ahead. You want to speak?
Yes.
All right.
So on a general group, someone posted about learning from people, and I told the person I need a coach, and the person asked me what area of coaching. I said financial. He said, "Well, there's this master class that I've been following, and it would be good if you join." And today, joining in and seeing all that has actually been going on, and I'm asking myself, where have I been? Um, the session tonight has been revelatory. It has been enriching. I've been taking notes from all that has been going on, and certainly going to improve myself a whole lot. In fact, while the session was going on, I called my wife, especially when the last facilitator was talking. I said, "Come and listen. This is exactly what you need." So I'd like to say a huge thank you for all that you do. Thank you so much. And God bless you richly, you and your team. Thank you so much. We can't pay you. We can't thank you enough. Thank you very much.
Well done. Thank you very much, Chinedu. Thanks for that. And of course, if you're just joining this one, we have the links to all the other master classes. We'll share that in the group, and so you can catch up in case you missed any of them. Thanks. All right, we have Femi Boro hand up. Please go ahead, Femi.
Evening, Coach, and good evening, everyone. Thank you, Coach, for putting this together and answering the call. For me, I think I took steps after the financial masterclass. I just used to have the saving habit, saving culture, and also I'm a low risk investor, right? But that opened my eyes to other opportunities to invest. I went into mutual funds, and I'm seeing the results and the dividends. I just want to say thank you for sharing this gold mine with us, right, and giving us access to information, that can propel us in different aspects of our lives. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Femo. Well done. All right. Any other takers? Any other takers? I can see some people here. Maybe I'll even call their names. I'm sure you
Okay,
got some. Go
sorry.
ahead. Isioma. Yes, go
Yeah,
ahead.
good evening, everyone. Good evening, Coach,
Good
for
evening.
this wonderful platform. So what I do is that I go back and I listen. I take my time and listen back to each of the series. And each time I listen, I get more knowledge considering the changes that may have happened and the situation where I am. So from the from the talent series, July, I was able to publish 2 books. I didn't just write, but I published them and unveiled them. I had an event where those books were unveiled, and then I got a lot of support. The support I got, people even from friends and colleagues and abroad, who gave their support even when they did not get copies of the book, to say they are supporting this project. And so far, I've recovered the money that I use in producing these books. So what I did this month, I focused on seeing how I can reach out to people that really need this book, and but they cannot afford them. So through different platforms, I visited secondary school, my alma mater, through different youth platforms, I was able to give out these books for free to different persons, So I'm still getting support, and I'm still reaching out to people to say, you guys really need this knowledge. So so far, it's been very, very impactful. I must commend you for giving out all of this, putting all of this together for free. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And then for the financial aspects, so what I do is the mutual fund through Stanbic. I've really channeled my effort towards that, because even though I'm into stock trading, what I do is more of investment, because I do not have time to do trading. So, but with Stanbic, especially the mutual funds and the money markets, what I do now is any resources I get, I just see how I can put in money there, allow them to take the risk while I get my returns. So I really appreciate your effort. Thanks.
Thank you very much. I like that you actually published 2 books. Fantastic. In fact, Stanbic needs to be paying me money. The amount of business I brought to them free of charge. Well done. All right, let's hear from Ojo Samuel, and then we should take one more and then call it a night. Ojo, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, sir. It's been amazing and outstanding for me since I got to know the New Kings platform. Coach Blessing Elea, I think I saw the link on her status, one of the facilitators for real estate masterclass.
Yes.
And she's a mentor to me, and I jump at knowledge. And since I've been part of the New King and the masterclasses, it's been amazing, mind-blowing, and have learned a lot. One of the masterclasses that stood out for me was the creativity masterclass that prompted me into putting my hands on writing a book.
It's like we lost him. All right, fantastic. He's writing a book. I can see some more in the comments. Sam said, I got to meet Coach Suanu through, Eniton Ore's book, Sharing of the Financial House. Fantastic.
Okay.
Well done. All right, Ojo, you're back on. Go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, wrap up.
Thank you so much. Yes, I want to say thank you. Thank you for doing all of these free of charge. I know quite a number of persons that earn a lot from this kind of knowledge, and I'm better for it. And every day I watch out for what you're going to put out on your status, and sometimes I have to repeat it because mind-blowing. Thank you so much. I cannot thank you enough for this knowledge given to the world free of charge. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you so much for that. And indeed, it's an opportunity for you also to emulate and push it out, pay it forward, give out of what you have to other people so that they also can be blessed. So thank you, everybody, for your time. I don't think there are any more hands up or any other takers. So I would like to bring this session to a close. 2025, 7 or 8 income streams, actionable income streams masterclass series